Hello guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll be discussing about one of the most important things in the game, and that is your primary gears. Which ones to salvage and which ones to keep. Recently, there has been some changes made about a month ago where combat rating was separated from the attributes. So a lot of people have a lot of queries like what approach is the best approach now for selecting the primary gears and which one we should salvage. So in this video, I'll be discussing this in three parts. People who are at server paragon difficulty. By what I mean is, like currently I am in 800 to 999. You see this mark? So the server is at Inferno 1. First one will be people who are below the server paragon difficulty. Like currently we are in Inferno 1. Maybe future we will be in Inferno 2. So everyone below the server paragon difficulty, that will be the first part of the video. Next, people who are at the paragon difficulty and above paragon difficulty. And the third part will be for people who are planning to switch class in the future. Because in all the three instances, the choice of gear will depend because of the situation they are in, right? So for first part, people who are in hell difficulty, these are people you have probably started playing a bit late in the game and you are not playing from the day one. So obviously you are going to start at normal. And since these hell difficulties are locked behind combat rating, right? Combat rating is the key to get it will unlock the next difficulty tier. So for people below the server paragon difficulty, there is only one recommendation, and that is to choose the highest combat rating that you have, highest combat rating gear that you have, right? Once you get the highest, because your priority is getting combat rating to unlock more content in the game, and that's all for the people who are below server paragon difficulty. Once you reach the server paragon level, you have attained enough combat rating to clear everything in the server paragon difficulty. Now the fun begins, because now you don't choose gear just based on your combat rating. If you get a higher combat rating, maybe it's not the best gear for you. Let me show you a diagram, a chart which was shared recently in Reddit by user CN1/2. So he put this in a very good way. Suppose currently the paragon level is 800, Inferno 1, and Inferno 2 starts at 900, right? You can see this is the graph for combat rating. From 800, paragon level gear will have a CR. Then the CR will go up as your paragon level goes up. But at 850, this was prepared a bit earlier. So I think this is 860. I'm not sure, but maybe at 850 or 860 it plateaus. Basically, any gear you find from 850 to 900 will have the same combat rating. So soon we are all going to be in Inferno 2, 900 to 1000. You will see your combat rating will go up, but after 950 your combat rating is going to plateau. So combat rating is not very essential at this point, because you will later may find a better gear with better attributes and magic attributes. So always focus on those instead of combat rating once you are at the current hell difficulty level. So now you have to look at other things in the gear, for example the attributes, the magic attributes, and also the invocation if you have invocation, or maybe the curse property. At this point you have to know what you want in your gears. Now it's time to min-max your gear, and if you are able to min-max it correctly, you will see great improvement in your stats and your character. So how to select the gears going on from now? What you need to do from now is that you need to create a priority list. Let me show you what I mean. So here you can see that I have a priority list. I have just noted it down. For primary attribute, my priority list is willpower, and then strength, then fortitude, and then vitality. You should know that willpower gives potency and resistance, strength gives damage, fortitude gives armor and armor penetration, vitality gives life. So for any class, strength is very good because more damage is nice. Now you might have a fortitude at higher priority level, because fortitude gives armor penetration and higher armor penetration means higher crit damage, and the meta is also currently in high, increasing your crit damage, crit chance and everything. So maybe you want to keep this in top priority. I have kept willpower because I focus on CC, crowd control, and I even use feasting balance pack. So I'm really trying to min max my potency. I want to keep as high potencies so I can do a longer CC. So that's why willpower is top priority for me, then strength, fortitude, vitality. Magic stats, crit chance is the top priority for me. Crit damage comes next, but this is really important for me. You can have other magic priority, but this is for me, I'm saying. Other priorities is dash invocation for me. You can have, say you are demon hunter, you might want invocation where primary attack is going to trigger ancestral gears, ancestral invocation, right? So you might want that, but I am mostly play as monk, so dash is really important for me. And you can also have curses as priority list, but it is not in my priority list. Next, you might ask, what should I want in each piece of gear? Like, what should I prioritize, right, for magic attributes? For that also, let me share you something. Here is a list of some of good magic attributes for each set of gear. For helmet, shoulder, main hand, these 3 slot of gears have offensive attributes. Armor and pants have defensive attributes. Offhand has mix, both of offensive and defensive. So you need to select what you want in each slot. For helmet, like these are commonly good, like crit damage, skill damage, attack speed, crit chance, primary attack damage. Based on your gear, you can select what is good for your class. These are usually great. There can be other, but I have listed down some of the good attributes which you should be looking for your gears. Same for shoulders and main hand. Main hand also has item base life damage increase, base damage increase. This is also very good. For armor and pants, this is defensive stats. Here beneficial effect duration is very good if you're using that in PvP, any beneficial effect. Maximum life increase is also good. Now there are other magic attributes like damage reduction, fear resistance, and knockback resistance. You might want to keep those as well, depending on how you want to build your character. Offhand also has crit chance, crit damage as offensive, and also some resistance like I just mentioned. So you can take a screenshot of this if you want to keep it as an examples of some good magic attributes. So these are the things that you are looking for in magic attributes. For primary attributes, I've already told you, create your priority list, and for dash invocation and curses, you need to create another list in your mind. Now I'm going to share some example of gears which I make some choices of for each slot of gear, where you can understand which why I'm selecting a particular gear and why I'm rejecting it. Some of them even have 4 up arrows, and I'm going to reject those as well. I'll show in the video now. Please note that this part of the video is recorded a bit earlier, some time back, so the quality might not be as high. Anyway, let's get to it. In my armor, I have willpower, strength. These are both of my top priority. I also have an invocation. So let's compare it with the other 2 armor pieces. First one is a double arrow, next one is a triple arrow. So the double arrow has vitality and willpower. Attribute wise, I think this one is much more preferable to me, because life is very much nerfed in PvP. Even strength is also nerfed, but I would prefer strength. However, I have dash invocation here, and here I have cursed property. Dash invocation is really important for me because I am monk and I really value this above anything else. Hence, I am keeping my shoulder armor piece. Even the second one, you can see combat rating is more. Here there's 2 attributes versus 3 attributes. Now this is also something which you need to consider. For me, like I said, I am not changing because willpower is more valuable to me. If you see, I have 534 willpower and 533 strength. This one gives me less strength. Less strength means less damage. So this one gives me more damage. So I am focusing on willpower and strength, and that's why these two, even the total is less, I'm going to prefer this one rather than preferring these. Now moving ahead, the magic attributes, beneficial effect duration. This one is better than these magic attributes. But since it has dash invocation, this gear is not replaceable for me. If this one had dash invocation, then I could have changed it, because this one has willpower, strength as well, and plus fortitude, and it has beneficial effect duration. Just because it does not have dash invocation, I am not going to change it. Let's check out the shoulder gear. Shoulder gear also fortitude, vitality, willpower. This one has strength. Basically willpower wins for me. Next is critical hit chance, critical hit damage. Now this is my high priority for me. This is the same. So basically this one wins just because of willpower. Also this one, the invocation here is not very good. Defeating an enemy, this is not very useful in PvP. So I would never use this. So in this way I make choices based on my priority list of attributes and magic attributes. I can even show you my headgear. Attack speed is good, critical damage is good, but here I have willpower and also I have critical hit damage. So you need to analyze each of these, and if you start analyzing these, the attributes and magic attributes, you create a priority list for yourself. It is greatly going to improve the stats of your character and you can see big changes. So now let's check out the 4 arrow upgrade versus my current gears. So you can see combat rating is more, but we are not going to consider that. Attributes, this one is much higher, the total. This one is lower, but this one has critical hit chance. This one does not have critical hit chance, and this is my top priority. So I'm going to switch my slot. Now I have in the second primary gear. Here I do not have critical hit chance, so this is comparable. Now firstly, this one has fortitude and strength. Fortitude, vitality, strength. So they both of them do not have willpower. Vitality I do not value more. I value more strength and more fortitude. So in this one I feel this one wins, the one which is equipped. In magic attributes, skill damage, sure it's the same. Damage done to enemy suffering, loss of control, and primary attack damage increase. In this both are same to me. I do not see much difference, but here is the main difference. This one has invocation, this one also has invocation. I prefer dash invocation competing a summon. If you are a necromancer, maybe this one will be more valuable to you, so you can switch the gear, but in my case I'm not going to change it. Finally, for people who wants to class change, for class change now the cooldown is now just 1 day, so you might want to change class. If you are planning to change class permanently, your approach will change, because for example I was monk, and permanent and dash invocation is really good for monk, but say I want to go to maybe necromancer next, so this is not good, and I'm planning to play necromancer for a long time. At that time, whatever gear you are farming, you need to keep in mind what the class that you are going to go requires. Maybe you want now invocation which has say something like the summon invocation, right, because you're going to a necromancer, or maybe you're going to a demon hunter, so you need a primary attack, or you don't want skill damage, you want primary attack damage instead in your magic attributes. Maybe you don't want vitality, you want fortitude, right? So if you are going to class change soon and you think that you are going to stay in that particular class for a long time, it's good to start farming for the class that you are going to go or you are about to change. If you class change a lot, you should always have attributes and magic attributes which are commonly good for all classes, like crit chance and crit damage. But if you're going to a particular class, obviously you need to, and you are going to stick to that class for a long time, you need to have gears, min-max your gears based on the things that the class requires. Also in each gear there is family bonus. but obviously whenever you get a new gear, these are not going to affect your decision on whether you need to switch gear or not, because these things are always with you. If these bonuses will be shifted to the new gear. So I'm not covering family set bonus in this video for selection of gears, right? So that's all for this video. If you like the content, please kindly subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.